This is Mr. Gillum, and today we're going to be looking at an example out of your Practice and Problem Solving book on page 45. It says that Carmen saved $27, which was 30% of the money she earned. How much did Carmen earn? So in order to solve this problem, the best way that I would say at this point with what we know already would be to make a double number line. And again, I would say that if we divide it into increments of 10%, then it's going to be the easiest to calculate what we need to find out. So I'm looking here at the double number line that is set up for us, and I'm comparing the amount of money to the percent. Now, 100 would represent all of the money, okay? Which in this case, we don't know yet, right? We don't know what number this would be yet. Obviously, it's showing us the number because we're going to need that, but if I made this double number line and I separated it into 10% increments, I would know that because the problem says that we had 30% and that represents $27, I could put the 30 here and the 27 here. Okay, so my number line would be completely blank except for the zeros and the percents on the bottom. I've separated into 10% increments. And I stopped at 100% because that would be all of the money. That represents the total amount. Okay? When I start with 30% and 27, then I can find some other values on my number line. So in fact, not only am I going to put just the 30 and the 27, I'm also going to put 54. And I can put 54 there because I know 30 plus 30 is 60, and 27 plus 27 is 54. I could even put another number here. I could add another 27 to that, and I could have 81, and I could have 60 plus 30 would be 90. So I can fill out a lot of my different percents here if I'm creative. Instead of, I could think of this as being multiplied by 2, if I wanted to find the unit rate, or just maybe 10%, which is going to be a very useful number, what I could do is I could divide by 3. 30 divided by 3 would be 10. 27 divided by 3 would be 9. And that's really an important one right there because I need to know how much she earned altogether. So if I know that in 10% it was $9, then, and I know 90% was $81, then I know 9 plus 81, 10 plus 90, that equals the total amount spent represented by 100%, or 90 altogether. I could figure out every single percent all the way through until the very final percent, 100% of the total amount of money, if I wanted to, using different patterns, multiplication. And again, you'll realize that these are equivalent ratios all the way through as well. 27 to 30 is 9 to 10, is 81 to 90, is 90 to 100. They are all equivalent ratios. The same way that the same equivalent ratios that we've kind of been talking about this entire year when we make tables or we make charts or we make double number lines or whatever it is that we're looking at. These are always going to be what we call proportional, or they're going to be equivalent ratios. So one way you could do this problem, and probably the best way that you would know how at this point without using equations or expressions, would be to draw a double number line, separate it into 10% increments. Start with the given information. 27 was 30%. That was 30% of the total. 100% represents the total. Okay, how much there was altogether. Start with this value here, and you can label using your imagination with addition or multiplication or division. You can figure out every single percent of these things, every single percent of the total if you would like to. In this case, we really want to find the total, which is represented by 100%. So if I divide these by 3, I get 10 and I get 9. If I add this guy with this guy, that would be 10% plus 90%. That would represent 100% or 90 altogether. So again, there's a lot of different ways you could solve this chart. You could do multiplication. You could figure out how much 50% is and double that. So however you want to do it, that's fine. But I think that the best way to figure out how much you earned altogether for a total would be to draw a double number line and model this problem.